As your Honourable Speaker, I reject or I don't support Honourable Sige for position of CEC. I impeach today. Reason why, Honourable Speaker, I say it. Honourable Speaker, Honourable Sige is failing us in this county of Bomet because, Honourable Speaker, the CEC in charge of finance is the pillar of this county, is the second command for this county of Bomet. Because, Honourable Speaker, is failing us to advise the governor how to collect the revenue, as members who was said, who was contribute, but those who was supposed, I don't know why, and this county is very, very low in collection of revenue, Honourable Speaker. So, Honourable Speaker, I don't want to say much, but I want Honourable Sige to send home and you put it another new member to serve to this county. Maybe this county may change to go to another level. Thank you, Honourable Speaker.
Thank you very much. Honourable Emily.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. Before I comment on the motion, I concur with what Mr. Speaker. It's time we talk. It's time we rise up as MCAs. It's time we rise up as the Third Assembly and face what is going on with us. We need to rise. We need to be. We need to come up strongly. We need to be to look like what we were meant for, Mr. Speaker. It's time we rise. I urge honourable members, if we don't do it today, we'll never do it. But if I look at the eyes of these honourable members, Mr. Speaker, in my language, I could say they are talking to me loud and clear and saying, Magneto Chito. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
As your Honourable Speaker, I reject or I don't support Honourable Sige for position of CEC. I impeach today. Reason why, Honourable Speaker, I say it. Honourable Speaker, Honourable Sige is failing us in this county of Bomet because, Honourable Speaker, the CEC in charge of finance is the pillar of this county, is the second command for this county of Bomet. Because, Honourable Speaker, is failing us to advise the governor how to collect the revenue, as members who was said, who was contribute, but those who was supposed, I don't know why, and this county is very, very low in collection of revenue, Honourable Speaker. So, Honourable Speaker, I don't want to say much, but I want Honourable Sige to send home and you put it another new member to serve to this county. Maybe this county may change to go to another level. Thank you, Honourable Speaker.
Thank you very much. Honourable Emily.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. Before I comment on the motion, I concur with what Honourable Philip has just said. First of all, Honourable Speaker, let me applaud Honourable Felody. Congratulations. Congratulations. You stood by your word. What your heart was telling you. So I want to urge you, don't worry. I want to ask.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I wish also to thank you for your ruling, Mr. Speaker, on guiding this House to discuss our mandates as it is stipulated under the Constitution of Kenya. Mr. Speaker, I wish to move a special motion. The special motion, Mr. Speaker, on the dismissal of Honorable Eric Kipkoech Ngetich as the County Executive Committee member for Roads, Public Works and Transports. Mr. Speaker, in considerations of the provisions of the Section 40 of the Constitution of the County Government Act 2012, which mandate the removal of the County Executive Committee member on the grounds of gross violations of the Constitution or any other law, abuse of office, gross misconduct, physical or mental incapacity to perform the functions of the office, or incompetence. Whereas Honorable Eric Kipkoech Ngetich, the County Executive Committee member in charge of Roads, Public Works and Transport, has committed acts that are contrary to the expected conduct of a public officer as enriched in our Constitution and other relevant laws. Aware that, Mr. Speaker, a state officer having taken and subscribed to an oath of office pursuant to the provisions of the Constitution is duty bound to uphold the dignity and the respect for the office he holds. Mindful of the County Assembly's oversight mandate as stipulated under the Constitutions of Kenya and the County Government Act 2012. Deeply concerned about the allegations of gross misconduct, abuse of office and violations of laws which undermine the integrity and principles of public service required from such a very high office, Mr. Speaker. This County Assembly, pursuant to the provisions of Section 42 of the County Government Act 2012 and Standing Order 72 of the County Assembly Standing Orders, resolves that the Governor dismisses the Honorable Eric Kipkoech Ngetich from the office of the County Executive Committee member for Roads, Public Works and Transport on the following grounds, Mr. Speaker: gross violations of the Constitution and other laws. A, failure to implement projects in the budgets and adhering to the Public Finance Management Act. That Honorable Eric Kipkoech Ngetich, in his capacity as the County Executive Committee member responsible for roads, public works and transport, has committed gross violations of the Constitution and other laws by 1. Gross misappropriations of funds, not implementing projects duly approved in the county budget, contrary to the financial management principles enriched in Public Finance Management Act 2012. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Ngetich failed to explain how he utilizes 195 million for county roads and 78 million for cross-cutting roads in the financial year 2023-2024. In light of no projects worth the amount, it can only be concluded that amount has been also misappropriated, violating Articles 201D of the Constitution, which mandate the prudent and responsible use of public funds. Exceeding budgetary allocations, Mr. Speaker, exceeding the amount set out for roads during the tenure, leading to the conclusion that he must be committing funds to projects without ensuring budgetary availability, in violations of the Public Finance Management Act 2012, Section 1961D, which requires adherence to budgetary allocations. Irregular procurement practices, purchasing heavy machineries outside the budget, despite budgetary allocations or approved by the County Assembly for the purchase of heavy machineries in the year 2022, 2023, 2024, the county lacks ownership documents, meaning the purchase was never finalized as per the contract. This contravenes Section 197(1) of the Public Finance Management Act 2012, which requires proper documentations and finalizations of procurement processes. Mr. Speaker, when you see the purchase of heavy machines, the allocated funds, which was actually given in the budget, Mr. Speaker, 2023-2024, it shows in the report of the control of the budget that almost all the money allocated to this department, in fact the department was actually the most. Mr. Speaker, I'm sorry members, I was actually citing out an additional report on the batches of heavy machines, which lacks on logbook. And Mr. Speaker, it shows in the controller report that almost all the money which was allocated to this department was used in purchase of these heavy machines. And when it comes to the reality, Mr. Speaker, the machines are dumped in various wards. They are not in use, Mr. Speaker. It shows that some of them, there are some reports that they have not been paid. Some of them, it lacks, it is still controlled outside our county. And Mr. Speaker, there is also an abuse of office and procedural disposal of county motor vehicles that Honorable Eric Kipkoech in his capacity as the county executive committee member responsible for roads, public works, and transport has abused his office by 1. Violations of procurement laws, disposing of the county motor vehicles without adhering to the Public Procurement and Assets Disposal Act 2015, specifically under Section 53(1), which requires adherence to prescribed procedures for disposal of public assets. This constitutes a blatant disregard for the law and proper governance practices, gross misconduct, issuing fraudulent local purchase orders, LPOs, that Honorable Eric Kipkoech in his capacity as the county executive committee member responsible for roads, public works and transport has engaged in gross misconduct by 1. Financial impropriety, overseeing the issuance of local purchase orders, LPOs, in the department for non-existent projects, constituting financial impropriety, and also mismanagement in violations of the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act of 2003, Section 45(2)(b), Mr. Speaker, which prohibits the improper use of public resources. For example, the local purchase order LPOs for routine maintenance and constructions of Kakimuldai, Karab, Barsukata, and the constructions of Southset and Jebgrib roads turned out to be fraudulent, Mr. Speaker. Failure to ensure maintenance of county vehicles. That Honorable Eric Kipkoech in his capacity as the county executive committee member responsible for roads, public works and transport has engaged in gross misconduct by negligence in assets management, neglecting the public works and transport has engaged in gross misconduct by lack of transparency, failing to provide detailed expenditure report when requested on 3 separated occasions by the County Assembly Committee on Roads, Transport and Public Works. This lack of transparency and accountability violates the principles of good governance and oversight as enriched in Article 10 of the Constitution and the Public Finance Management Act 2012. Mr. Speaker, we requested severally the CEC in charge of roads, Eric Kipkoech, to give us some information which it will also guide the committee on doing or carrying out their mandate of oversight. CEC failed to give the report, Mr. Speaker. Here with me, I have some letters, Mr. Speaker, one dated 15 May 2023, whereby the committee chaired by Mheshimiwa Honorable Mutai and the six other committee members, we requested the CEC in question. Mr. Speaker, you'll allow me not even to use the word request. We write a report, or we wanted to give or to service the committee with a report on the comprehensive report, whereby the County Assembly of Committee on Infrastructure in its siting on 11 May 2023 deliberated and resolved to request for comprehensive report on the following issue, Mr. Speaker. One is the expenditure report for financial year.
Mr. Speaker, you know I schooled in a school called Kaplong Boys. So what I say, I know that place. There is a place called Alebo in Kaplong. That is somewhere around Kaplong Primary. And a place called Kaplong Girls Secondary School. If you use that road every day, Mr. Speaker, that road is a tarmac road. That was built even way back before I was born. Mr. Speaker, in that pending bill report, Mr. Speaker, which is eligible, a contractor is asking for 4.8 million on that road, and yet it is an highway, Mr. Speaker, and it is barely 175 meters.